I'd like to do my Sunday chat on Monday, but I can't film in this. Yes, we need the rain, but I can't film with this noise, so I'll be back later. Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Welcome to my Sunday chat on a Monday. It doesn't happen often, but that's just the way it's gone this weekend. In a packed programme today, we've got a chat about the coach trip to Burnham's and the day out with Hannah. We've got a new orchid to look at, and it's a bit different. It came out of the Burnham's building, but it didn't belong to Burnham's. So we've got that to look at, and it's in bloom as well. So we've got a new orchid, but only one. What else? And we have a saga that ended the day that was a disaster, really. I don't get things like that happen to me very often, but it meant I was totally stranded. So we'll get to that. And then I did a very short clip at Burnham's of some really nice Cattleya, what are they called? Beringiana. And I don't think they're Cattleya anymore, they've been reclassified. But they had a lot of them in bloom in the orchid paradise, and I took a quick clip of that area. But because it was a whole coach trip and it was open to the public, the place was very busy with a lot of people around, so I didn't try and film that much, quite honestly. I'll just add that clip on the end of today. It's not long enough to bother with a separate clip. It's probably only about a minute long or something, but I'll get that on the end. So how was the day out then? You have to excuse me, I'm a bit tired would be an understatement. I've fallen asleep in the chair this morning for 2 hours, which is why I'm now filming at lunchtime instead of in the middle of the morning, which was the plan. Yeah, talk about a day gone wrong. It reminded me of something. I'd have to put my coffee down, but I'll do it in a minute. Anyway, we set off from here at 7:30, and I arranged with Hannah, because I don't have bread or butter or anything like that in the house anymore. But when I picked Hannah up on Friday, I said, "Have you got any bread?" And she said, "Well, yeah, I've got this." I said, "Well, if you bring that and some butter, I'll do us a bacon sandwich before we go on Sunday on the coach trip, because otherwise we're not going to get any food till lunchtime. And we've got an early start." "Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be good." So that worked well. So she came down on Friday, and we had okay, it was the wrong weekend. It was a weekend early, but we had a birthday meal for me, which was something a bit different. With a nice steak, and with a cream brandy and black pepper sauce, and some roast potatoes and peas, and then we had lemon meringue and cream afterwards for a pudding. I'm not really a pudding person, but as I say, we wanted to do a nice meal in for just the two of us, so that went well. Saturday we did some gardening, and I overdid it, like I usually do, because I'd like to take advantage of Hannah's help. And that means I carry on beyond where my back says you need to stop now or you're going to suffer. But I did carry on, and I got away with it. Because the thing is, when you're on a coach trip, coach seats are never that comfortable for a long period when you can't get up and walk about, because you're not allowed to. You've got to keep seatbelt on. But anyway, I got away with it. But the work we did in the garden, I will film. It has actually stopped raining at long last. I will film that and do that as a video on the other channel, on the gardening and bonsai channel. It's a big job that we've done a third of. and another separate job that we did, and then yet another job on top of that to do with eventually trying to sort the decking out. So I'll film that, and then we get on to Sunday. So we had our bacon sandwich, most enjoyable. Is there a better way to start a day than a bacon sandwich? It's difficult to find one that's quick and easy anyway, you know. So we had a bacon sandwich and set off, and when we got there the coach hadn't actually arrived. We were a bit early, but it arrived on time and everything. Everybody got on, and one person was late. And the Bournemouth Orchid Society's coach trips, they don't wait. You've got a set time. If they can contact you if you're not there, they will. But you know, after tea time with elderly people, I don't include myself, of course. Yeah, I'm in the old git category now, but I do have a mobile phone. You know, whereas some people have just got a flipping landline. And you also get the problem, I remember once there was somebody who was late, there'd been an accident and they'd been held up. Trying to contact them to say what's happening, and because they were in their car they wouldn't answer the phone. But anyway, we went without that person, but it turned out they decided to go to one of the other pickup points. Nice to let us know. Anyway, we got off at 8 o'clock as planned, and for the first time ever, I don't go on many coach trips, but for the first time ever we had a driver with a heavy right foot. So we got to move on. I mean, when you're a commercial driver and it's your job and everything like that, you don't tend to break speed limits, because it could cost you your job and your licence. So you know, and you've got a special driving licence with lots of extra tests and things you have to do to drive a, you know, 60-seater coach. So anyway, we were early at the next pickup point, and everybody that was supposed to be there, including the person that should have been at the other pickup point. So we set off again, and then the third pickup point was, it's like quite a long way into the journey, but that happens to be where they live. So Tesco car park pickup, that was a funny one. The weather was atrocious. It just rained nearly all the day, and part of the journey, the road is quite high. It's a coastal road set back, so you're not driving along the actual coast, but you're not far from it. Normally the views and the scenery are stunning. We were in cloud. We were in low cloud a lot of the time, and if not, it was just heavy rain, so you couldn't see far anyway. So Hannah went to sleep. I wasn't far behind her. But yeah, we got to Burnham's early, like quite early. We knocked quite a bit off. There was supposed to be a comfort stop halfway, and basically they said, we're not stopping unless somebody says they need to. If you see what I mean. It's a bit of a pointless stop if everybody's okay, you know. So we didn't do that. So that got gained us some time. So we got there early, and the net result was that they decided that they would leave early, because I was expecting a really late day. So I was quite pleased, you know, everybody'd finished buying and seeing what they wanted and everything like that. So it made sense that we'd got there early, so we'd leave a bit earlier, get people on, you know, on their way home. So, and on the way home, given the atrocious weather, we just made good time. It was just one of those journeys where it all went right, if you know what I mean. So we were supposed to be back in Bournemouth, where my car was parked, at 6:30. And it was more like sort of 5:20. So it was like over an hour earlier than we thought. So I thought, well, this is good. My day won't be as late as I thought it was going to be. Because normally at 6:30, I wouldn't be far off dropping Hannah off at home, not just leaving. So, you know, I was expecting a pretty late night. So now I'm pleased, you know, that we're getting going. And what we did was Hannah packed all her stuff in the morning. We just got up early and all our stuff was already in the car, so we didn't have to come back to this place to then set off on the journey, which saved us quite a bit of time because we could get straight on our way. So anyway, the journey, the disaster, possibly an element of tiredness, although that doesn't normally affect my driving, but we were nearly back to Hannah's place. And literally you're on the approach road, so there's houses either side of the road, but then you get to a very strange junction. You've got a proper road coming in from that side, but you've got a road like coming up from the old green that comes up and sort of joins this junction here, and then the main road that you're on, the A4 basically, goes down quite a steep hill. And then you're in the town, if you see what I mean. And coming up to that, oh, it's going to do it again. I'll try and carry on. Anyway, this junction has got, I mean, a lot of people don't understand the concept of roundabouts. I think it's a very English thing or a European thing. But basically on a crossroads or junction, you just have a little pile of bricks or something, just an area in the centre. That people go round, and this one is like triangular shaped. It's got two long thin sides and a short side and a keep left sign on it to make sure everybody goes round the right way, sort of thing. And yes, keeping left is the right way. I think we're the only people that do that now. But basically there was a car coming up the hill, really bright lights, and I was a bit dazzled. I was also a bit tired. We clipped the curb on this little central thing like that. Blew both tyres. Both. And I knew they'd gone instantly. I mean, there's no speed involved. I was having to do that to go round it. So, and we're in town, so I mean there's no real speed involved, but I looked at it on the way home later, much later, and it's quite a high, abrupt, edged curb, like hitting the edge of a deep pothole really, but, raised up. Anyway, I knew both tyres I didn't know the back tyre had gone, but I knew the front tyre had gone, so it's the front driver's side tyre, the steering's pulling, rumble, 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 all that sort of stuff. But we were only probably 200 or 300 yards from Hannah's place. So carried on driving, thinking that if that tyre's blown, driving on it isn't going to make much difference. It's trashed anyway. So anyway, we got to Hannah's and parked under the street lamp, just pulled up on the curb a little bit, because I thought if I've got to change a wheel, I don't want to do it stood in the road. It's still raining a bit, and I thought, oh no, this is a nightmare. I hate changing a car wheel. You've got to get underneath and get the jack in, and it's a hand jack. It takes ages to get the thing up in the air. Then you've got the battle trying to undo the nuts that were done up in the tyre fitting place last time. And you've got a little hand tool to do it, So I was dreading it like that. And of course, once we'd parked the car and got out, it's both tyres. I've only got one spare. No, I just said to Hannah, I'm stuffed. You can't move the car now, and it's mid-Sunday evening. Nothing's open. Can't get hold of anyone. I said, I'm stuck. Don't know what to do. I said, well, the chances are I'm just going to have to stay the night until tomorrow when we can get some help. Because I'm going to have to get somebody to come here and do the tyres, a mobile tyre fitting service. Anyway, it was drizzling with rain, couldn't do anything. There's no point in changing one of the wheels because you couldn't drive it like that, not with two wheels gone, two tyres gone. So we went back indoors, got me a cup of coffee to calm down. The stress level was not doing my heart condition any good at all. And I said to Hannah, have a look on your phone, see if there are any mobile tyre fitting services that will do a call out or something. And so she put that in near me, and one came up that was 24-hour service. And I sort of thought, well, I wonder if they mean it. I wonder if really, you know, halfway through Sunday evening, if they really mean they will come out and fit 2 tyres. So anyway, Hannah sent a text and you know, got an answer back straight away. Yes, we can do that. And I said, can you ring the number and give it to me? Because I wanted to speak to somebody. I don't want to do texting when you're trying to organise this sort of stuff. Anyway, he was a very pleasant guy on the end of the phone. Where are you? So, you know, said Sarah it was. Where's the car? I said, well, it's parked properly, 2 wheels up on the pavement, the 2 wheels with the trash tyres, under a street lamp. He said, it's not blocking anybody, you're not in the road or anything like that, because obviously he's worried that I'm, you know, blocking traffic. I said, no, not in the way, it's perfectly fine. And there's plenty of places for somebody to come and fix it and park and do the job without being in anybody's way. You're not, you know, you're not going to be stood in traffic or anything like that. Oh, good. Gave him the address and the postcode, and of course Hannah's in, there's 4 blocks of flats in that, you know, you pull in and it goes round there to a bit of parking, and there's 4 blocks of flats, and Hannah's on the 2nd floor in one of those blocks. So to get somebody at night to come round and try and find the number and, you know, and knock on the door. So we've arranged with the guy that whoever's coming, if they ring when they get here or just before, we'll come out and meet them at the car, because that will save them having to try and find where the flat is, you know, where the door is. So everything's going okay. Then we get to the difficult bit. Could I have your registration? I thought, I don't know and of course it's written on my key fob, so I gave him the registration, and he said, I'm going to need your tyre sizes, because he said for that model there's various tyre sizes, including one of the models they're actually giving, you know, different size tyres for the front and the back. So he said, I'm going to need your tyres. Of course, I don't know what they are. I said, I don't know, we're going to have to go out to the car and I'll have to get back to you. So I said, if you hang up now, I'll ring back in 5 or 10 minutes when we've been outside and got the tyre sizes. Well, it turns out all 4 tyres were the same size. That was good. We got the tyre size, phoned it back again, and yes, we can get those tyres for you. And he said, I said, how long will you be? And he said, looking at your address, probably about an hour. And I said, well, where are you? And he said, Cheveley. That's the services on the A34M4. That's 40 miles away. But then, you know, when you put into Google near me, the first one they give you is the one that they find that matches, that is the nearest to you. It could have been 150 miles away. It's still the nearest one, but he was happy to do the job. Covered the area, sort of thing. So anyway, there's nothing we can do now. So we just have to wait patiently. Sort of at the time he was due, we went and it had stopped raining by now. We went out and stood by the car, you know, and sort of waited for him to turn up. And he turned up and, you know, sort of had a look at the job and everything. And Hannah said, do you need us here anymore? And he said, no, I'm okay, sort of thing. And I said, how long do you think you'll be? He said, 2 tyres, probably about half an hour. So I said, well, we'll go back inside and we'll come back out. So if we're not back out and you're finished, just ring and we'll come straight down. So we went back in, and Hannah said, it's not nice having somebody hovering over you when you're trying to work. So she said, I thought we'd better sort of leave him to it. So that was good. He finished the job in 20 minutes. And then we get the horrible bit. Paying by card. £350 to end my day. And it is now late. And I've still got to drive home. So at the end of that day I was just gone. managed to have a bit of a lie-in this morning. Mojo was good to me. It was still 5 o'clock when I got up. And anyway, so I've had a sleep in the car. I shall have another sleep in the chair. So I'll sleep in the car, sleep in the chair. I shall probably have another doze in the chair this afternoon. And just the whole day took all my energy and some of today's energy as well. Used up a day and a half's worth with the. I don't know why a coach trip is tiring. It shouldn't be. You're not doing anything, are you? But you know, and then being at Burnham's, talking to lots of people, and you know. Anyway, not a good end to a day. But then, let's just have a bit. My throat's dry as well. I'll do this, and you can have 1,000 useless Roger points if you can tell me what it's all about. Because when we went back inside to let him get on with the job, Hannah started saying, well, basically, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. We could have been in the middle of the countryside. You know, not even in a village, just on between villages. No phone signal. She said, this could have been a lot worse. I said, well, if we'd have been out there wouldn't have been a curb I could have hit for a start. Anyway, we started thinking about what could have been a lot worse, sort of thing. We may not have been able to get somebody that could do a call out. I'd have had to stay the night. Mojo's been on his own shut-in since 7:30 in the morning. I'm now not going to be home till probably midday the next day. He'll think that he's been abandoned, you know. So it could have been a lot worse. And then suddenly the little picture came back into my mind. If you know what that is, you can put it in a comment. But yes, it could have been worse. I'll leave it at that. So that was my day. It's now Monday. I should be watering all my orchids today, and I'm not. They're going to have to wait. I haven't got the energy. And then I'm interrupted tomorrow because Mojo needs to go into the vet to get his claws done. And the only day there's a nurse in to do it tomorrow is tomorrow. So I'm going to have to take Mojo in tomorrow. So I'll get round to watering this lot eventually. The cymbidiums are all right. It's everything else. I might do the paths, the phals. I might do the phals in the kitchen this afternoon because they're due a flush, so it's quite an easy, quick job to do. That gets them out of the way, and then that leaves everything else in here. But yes, so that was the day. Not a good end to what otherwise was a very enjoyable day. Sarah put on a good lunch for us, lovely assortment of sandwiches and some picking bits and some crisps and things, and yeah, I think everybody enjoyed themselves. I don't know, I haven't looked yet, but Sarah insisted that all of us went into Orchid Paradise and had a team photo, which I presume she's going to stick on her Facebook page or whatever. I haven't looked yet. I haven't done a lot of my chores today. But yeah, so there might be a picture of the motley crew. Yeah, so that was the day out, and for the rest of this week I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I will do a video of the work we did in the garden. There's a sort of before look at the garden that's already on that channel if you wanted to see, you know, that was like a plan, you know, and we managed to do some of that plan. So this will be like the after look. So I'll get that filmed. I'm not sure what else. I don't think I've got any. I don't think the project orchids are due yet. There isn't a members video due this week, so we'll have to wait and see what comes up. Anyway, I will turn the camera around now and we'll have a look at the plant that I got and the story with that, and yeah, and then I'll add the little clip from Burnham's. This is a very short clip. I'll add it on, and I'm confident that I can just leave the soundtrack and don't have to mess about with music or anything, because it'll be the sound of the waterfalls on the pond. I don't think there was anybody near enough to catch their voice, if you know what I mean. I'm not even sure there was anybody else talking at the time, so I'll just add that clip on the end. Right. I've got no energy at all today. Right, we'll turn the camera around and we'll reveal the new orchid. I don't even remember what it's called. I know what type it is, and it's one of those that's got mem in the name, MEM dot, yeah. So it's like the orchid name, mem, and then another name. That means it was registered in memory of, and then the rest of the name is the person, obviously. So we'll get up here, and then we'll drop down a bit, and then we'll see what's what. Well, most of you that know orchids are going to know what it is straight away, but not the actual plant. Coffee gone. Dehumidifier out the way, that's full, that needs emptying, but I wasn't going to go out in the garden and chuck that water away while it was raining, so I might be able to get that done this afternoon. Ugh. Right, so it's relatively obvious it's another coelogeny, which it is. And why is this one a bit different? There were several of these, but there was only one in bloom, and they'd been put over in a corner. There was a couple of other plants there as well, not related. So anyway, I picked this up as Arthur walked past, and he said, "Oh, I have to tell you, Roger, those plants on the corner there are mine. They're not Sarah's, they're not part of the nursery, they're mine. She's allowed me to bring them in because I've got surplus. She's allowed me to bring them in and sell them." But he said, ideally, I'd like to be paid, like pay me cash, you know. Which luckily I had enough cash to do that, so I paid Arthur directly, so in his pocket sort of thing. It's nice when you can help somebody out like that. Anyway, when we can get in here. So it's another one of these large flowered coelogenies that are sequential. So they start a new growth, it opens up at the top and the spike comes out, and the spike has quite a few blooms on it, but they tend to open one or two at a time, not all at once. And this one's got another 2 buds on this spike, and over here it has another spike coming. And then when the blooms are finished, the leaves carry on growing and become the new bulb. So it is a flower spike and a bulb combined. It's one of those. Now these blooms are going over a bit now, but they are pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see if I can get it close enough for you to have a better look. It's a lovely deep colour in the lip. So I'm pleased with that. It's quite a large bloom as well, and it's a reasonable sized division. It's got three bulbs, all with leaves on, and they're all plump. They're all nice fat bulbs. And then it's got the 2 new growths, well, what will be 2 new growths, which will almost double the size of the plant. And both of those new growths are coming out the previous bulb. So that bulb produced 2 growths. If I could get 2 out of each of the new ones next time round, we could have 4 flower spikes. Yet to be, that's a long way off. Right, there we go. So it's Phylogeny Mem Louis Forget, or Forget. Could be just Forget. What on earth? Oh, it's alright, it just looks backwards. Which it obviously isn't. But yes, so this is one of Arthur's own plants. Now, where it's come from I don't know, because this is not for sale at Burnham's, or I'd have seen it before. So it must be one that Arthur got from another trader at a show. Probably many years ago, who knows. But I doubt if there's many around, so it's quite an unusual plant. I've never heard of it before. But anyway, this bloom on this side's going over here, but there's at least another 2 buds on this spike. And then the other spike, we'll have to see how that one progresses. At the moment it's only got 1 bud showing, but it's much younger than this one. So that's my new plant, and it's well rooted in. I won't tip it up too much because we'll have a load of bark over the floor, but you can see roots spreading across the surface going down into the pot. So it's well rooted. The pot is a little large for the size of the plant, but if it's got good roots in it, it doesn't matter. And it means it can stay there until these 2 bulbs are mature and produce the next growths. There'll be room. So it means it doesn't need disturbing. Oh, and I've just noticed actually there's a back bulb which is a bit buried. We might have to dig that out a bit. I don't like bulbs that are buried too much. But this is in Burnham's bark, so it won't rot because the bark will dry plenty quick enough. But we can sort of dig it out a little bit and just make it a bit deeper around this side because there are some surface roots showing. So there we go, that's my new plant. Now I've got to try and find somewhere to put it. Well, that's no good, is it? It ain't big enough. A big one. Some of these are really dirty. So there we go, one new plant. And I'm pleased with that because it's a nice phylogeny. And as I said, I've never heard of it before. Actually, it's Forget. Or Forget. Oh, I don't know how you would say it. But we'll try not to forget it. Right, I need to get something to eat. And I'll leave it at that. Thanks for all your support and everything. You know, with the memberships and the watching the videos, doing the thanks. Don't forget the hype and all that sort of stuff. Don't waste them. And I'll end with the little clip of the rather fantastic specimen-sized cattleyas in Orchid Paradise, and a quick look at the nice pond with the waterfalls and the big fish. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by. And I hope people don't get a day that ends like my day did yesterday, because I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But, like we said, could have been a lot worse. We could have been somewhere in the middle of nowhere with no phone signal and no help. So at least we had some bright lights and walking distance from where Hannah lives to where the car ended up, and somebody who could come and help us there and then. So yeah. We looked on the bright side. See you next time. Thanks for dropping by.